wala na naloko na naman internet ko. Ayaw nyo kasi mag-react agad eh. Okay. So ito yung mga recording, mga abnormal contractions. So tinan mo, it will appear after the T wave and before the next P wave. Okay? Oh. Yan ang recording nila. So hindi yan mangyayari okay? During the period of contraction. Kaya sabi yung extrasystole will never happen during systole. It happens during diastole and latter part ng diastole. Sa ECG, also after the T wave. Okay? So yan ang characteristic ng PDCs. Occur earlier than the next expected normal QRS. Tapos wider than normal ang QRS niya. Tapos, okay? Siyempre, abnormal ang appearance. So sabi, bizarre. Okay? Tapos yung preceding T wave is absent. Obscured by the abnormal QRS. And it is followed by a compensatory pause. So, longer than normal. Yung interval between the electrical activities ng heart. Yan ang characteristic ng PDCs. Okay? So, abnormally observed happening after the T wave. Okay? Another important thing about the ECG recording, we can also determine the heart rate even if the patient is not around. ECG tracing lang. We use the set equation. So 60 over the RR interval. Remember the average ng normal, the range ng RR interval. Okay? So, yan ang pagkuha ng heart rate. 60 over RR. Okay? So, example, ito. Ang gagamitin natin lead 2. Kasi ang lead 2 follows the direction ng average cardiac vector. So, lead 2. Ayan. Big squares yan, hindi small squares. Big squares. So, kung compute natin, look at the RR interval. The interval between two R waves. So, 60. Yung 60 niyan represents 60 seconds. Kasi ang reporting ng heart rate per minute. So, over the RR interval. So, to get the interval, so kukunin mo yung duration. So, count the number of big squares. So, ilan yan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one big square is how many seconds? One big square, ilang second? Ay, nakalimutan na. Sabi ko, huwag niyong kalimutan yun.
0.2 po.
0.2. Very good. Okay? So, bilangin mo yan. 1, 2, 3. Almost 5 yan. Di ba hindi na-complete dito? Meron pang konti ron. So, isama mo yun. So, halos 5 na yan. So, palitan mo ngayon. 5 times 0.2. So, what is the heart rate? Okay na. Dali-dali naman. 5 times 0.2. Edi 1. 60 over 1. Edi 60. O, di ba? Dali yan. Okay? Ito pa sa example. Compute for the heart rate. Okay? So, get the RR interval. Di ba? Sabi, 60 over the RR interval. Tinan mo RR interval niyan. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, di 6 times 0.2. So, ang heart rate niya, mga 50 beats per minute. Ayan. Another equation. Ito pa yung mga ibang equations. You can use also the equation 300 over the number of big squares. Okay. Covered by the RR interval. Pwede rin naman 1,500 over the number of small squares. Covered by the RR interval. Yung nga lang, these equations, they're only limited, okay, for regular rate and rhythm. Pag regular ang rhythm, nung cardiac activity. Pag irregular, mayroong mga miscontractions o may problem sa ventricle. And we miss certain ventricular activities. O merong arrhythmias. We cannot use the set equations. Yung 60 over RR, itong 300 over, 1,500 over. Okay? Limited dito sa mga regular rhythm. Using lead 2. Okay? What if the cardiac rhythm is irregular? So, gagamitin natin yung hash marks. Ayan, pag irregular yan, merong mga drop QRS. Minsan ang tawag, missed beats or missed contractions. Okay? Kaya irregular ang, okay, or variable yung RR interval. Tignan mo dito shorter. Yung sumunod, longer. Okay? So we cannot use the previous equations mentioned. Ito, gagamitin na yung hash marks. Di ba, distance between two hash marks, equivalent to 3 seconds. We count the number of QRS enclosed in the two hash marks. Di ba, ang hash marks, pag dalawa, 3 seconds yan. O, bilangin mo yung QRS. O, ilan yan? 1, 2, 3, 4. O, 4 QRS. Multiply mo ng 20. O, bakit 20? To convert the 3 seconds to 60 seconds. Di ba? 20 times 3, 60 yun. No? That will be equivalent to 1 minute. So, ang heart rate niya ngayon, 80 beats per minute. O, di ba? Yung iba, ang ginagamit, 3 hash marks. O, ginagamit 3. O, what will be the duration if you utilize 3 hash marks? Di ba pag dalawang hash mark, 3 second duration. O, gumamit ka ng 3. O, di 6 seconds yan. Di ba? Ayan, o. Di ba 3 seconds to? Another 3 seconds. O, di 6 seconds. O, count the number of R waves or QRS enclosed in the said duration between the 3 present in the 3 hash marks. So, ayan, okay. Pito yan. Di times 10 naman. Bakit times 10? Para ma-convert yung 6 seconds to 60 seconds. So, ang heart rate niya ngayon, 70 beats per minute. So, depende kung gusto mo 2 hash marks or 3 hash marks. Pero pag 2 hash marks, times 20. Pag 3 hash marks, times 10. Para ma-convert sa 1 minute. Yung seconds. Okay? So, ang tawag doon sa method na yan, QRS counting method. Utilized for patients or subjects with irregular cardiac rhythm. Okay? Now, another thing about the ECG is it can tell us or we can determine the direction of current flow in the subject's heart or patient's heart. Specific yun for a person. Okay? Ang tawag dyan, cardiac vector calculation or vectocardiography. Okay? In this procedure, we utilize the bipolar extremity leads. Ginagamit yan. And we determine the actual electrical activity recorded in each lead. Okay? Pero hindi mo muna gagamitan ng millivolts. Ang unit mo muna, millimeters. Pag-compute mo nung mga said electrical activities. Millimeter muna. Hindi mo na kailangan ng ruler dyan. Kasi calibrated yung ECG paper. Di ba 1 small square, 1 mm yan. Horizontally and vertically. Okay? So you just look at the ECG paper, look at the tracing. Determine mo yung height ng mga waves and depth of the wave. Gaano kataas, gaano kalalim. Okay? If you are using the 3 bipolar extremity leads, ang tawag nila dyan, bipolar vectocardiographic system. To determine the cardiac vector. So, may measure na natin yan, okay? So, measure mo yung height ng R wave, measure the depth of the S wave. Pag mine-measure mo na yan, okay? Later on, you will add the values. Remember yung R wave, positive. So, lagyan mo ng positive sign. Yung value obtained sa R wave. Yung S wave, di ba, negative yan. So, lagyan mo ng negative sign. So, i-add mo ngayon yun. I-add mo, okay? Remember, you are adding a positive value with a negative value. So, you're actually doing subtraction. Pero addition yan, ha? You add positive 6.5 with negative 1.5. So, the sum will be positive 5. Okay? So, yun ang electrical activity recorded sa lead 1. Huwag muna millivolts o millimeters muna. Later on na yung paglagay ng millivolts. Okay? Kasi determine pa natin ang direction ng current flow. Okay? Pag direction, ang unit muna millimeters. Okay? Kung meron diyang Q wave, kung merong Q wave, you add the value ng Q wave. O kung negative 0.5 siya, add mo dyan. Okay? You add the value. Wala namang Q wave. Pinadali ko walang Q wave. Now, once you have taken the value ng lead 1, move immediately to lead 3. Bakit lead 3 agad? Because of the equation as stated by Einthoven's. Lead 2 is equal to the sum of leads 1 plus 3. Pag nakuha mo na yung value ng lead 3, ayan na, kinompute na para sa inyo. So, expected mo na ang value ng lead 2, 8.5. As stated by the equation. Diba sabi, lead 2 is equal to the sum of recorded activities sa leads 1 plus 3. So, yung lead 2, 8.5. Once you now have the values obtained, sa mga different bipolar leads, we now draw the triangle. Utilizing or involving the bipolar extremity leads. Di ba lead 1, ayan. Ito yung lead 2. Okay? Yan ang lead 3. Yan ang Einthoven's triangle. Okay? Tapos, pag when you draw this triangle, the Einthoven's triangle, doing vectorial analysis, you use a protractor para makakuha ka ng exact angle because you must draw a correct, okay, or exact equilateral or equiangular triangle. Okay? Dapat ang mga angle niyan 60 degrees. Para makakuha mo yung exact angle, you need a protractor. Huwag kayo sabi, okay, ruler. Kung hindi mo makuha ruler lang, kailangan protractor. Dapat equilateral yan, equiangular triangle. Okay? Tapos pag na-drawing mo na sila, you get the center of each side ng triangle. To get the center of each side ng triangle, you just draw a line from the apex, okay, moving to the opposite side. Makukuha mo na yung center of each side. Mark mo na 0. And doing this, you can also get the center of the triangle. Yan, mark mo 0 yung mga yan. Okay? So, draw ka lang ng line from apex to the, moving to the opposite side. So, you will get the center of each side. Mark it as 0. You will also get the center of the triangle. Yung intersection ng mga lines drawn. Tapos, do not forget, okay, where is the negative electrode sa lead 1? Di ba right arm? Positive sa left arm. Pag lead 2, negative right arm, positive left leg. Pag lead 3, negative left arm, positive left leg. And, do not forget those signs. Importante yan. Okay? Are you still following? Walang nagre-react eh. Hello? Ayaw na. Kaya na. Baka nalilito lang, sabihin nyo lang. So, you will now plot the values obtained in your respective bipolar leads. So, yung present a while ago. So, ipa-plot mo na yon sa said drawn triangle. Okay? Diba ang lead 1, ang value, positive 5. Plot mo na siya dyan. Gamit ka ng ruler. Okay? Millimeters ha. Ang unit mo, millimeters. So, lagay mo dyan, millimeters. So, kung ilan na ang value, di ba? Positive 5 millimeters. So, doon ka sa positive direction. Then, you plot also value ng lead 3. Di ba 3.5? Millimeters din. Going towards positive. Positive ba na ako mong value? Okay? Meron ka na nung mga designated value nung leads 1 and 3. From the value obtained sa lead 1, di ba, plus 5. You draw a line from that value perpendicular to lead 1. Yun. From the value obtained sa lead 1, di ba, positive 5. Mag-draw ka ng line perpendicular to lead 1. Right angle yan, ha? Okay? And do also the same procedure sa lead 3. Originating from the value obtained sa lead 3, 3.5. Ayun. Okay? So, meron silang common intersection. Take note of that common intersection ng mga perpendicular lines drawn, okay, sa lead 1 and lead 3. Mag-plot ka na ngayon sa lead 2. Ayan ang value ng lead 2, di ba? Sum nung 1 and 3, 8.5. Millimeters din. Yan. Ito yung gagamit ko na ruler. Okay? If you have the right analysis, yung perpendicular line to be drawn sa lead 2, originating from the value obtained sa lead 2, 8.5, it will intersect the common intersection ng perpendicular lines drawn sa leads 1 and 3. So, pag ganyan, you have the correct analysis or correct determination. Yung common, meron silang common intersection. Importante yan, ha? Yung common intersection ng mga perpendicular lines originating from the values obtained sa lead 1, lead 3, and lead 2. Okay? Ayan na. Meron ka na ng common intersection. You now look at the center ng triangle. Alam mo na yung center ng triangle. Nakuha mo na yung kanina. It was obtained a while ago. From that center ng triangle, you draw a line parallel to lead 1. Passing to the center ng triangle. Okay? Ayan. Parallel to lead 1. Pero magpapas sa center ng triangle. Okay? O yung center ng triangle na yan, that will serve as the zero angle. Okay? To get the vector of your patient's or subject's heart, you draw an arrow originating from the center ng triangle, moving to the common intersection ng mga perpendicular lines. Ayan. O yung common intersection nila, di ba doon? So you draw an arrow from the center ng triangle, okay, to the common intersection of perpendicular lines. And then, di ba yan ang zero angle? You use again a protractor to get this angle. O kunin mo yung angle na yan. And that angle will represent the direction of current flow. Average direction ng current flow sa heart. Yung average cardiac vector. Presented yun in degrees. Okay? To tell us the direction ng current flow in the subject or patient's heart. Ito, itong example na to, 52 degrees. Tapos huwag mo kalimutan ng sign na, yun, positive. Kasi minsan yan, nasa negative quadrant eh. O dilagay mo, negative, okay, yung value. Tapos pag naglagay ka na ng answer, kasi minsan tinatanong ko eh. Minsan lang naman. Ngayon ata, hindi na namin tawag. Ewan ko, bakit tanong sa lab, okay? So, huwag nyo na lagyan ng letter after the degree. Yung iba sa inyo, ewan ko, hindi nila makontrol. Lalagay 52 degrees, tapos lalagyan ng letter C. Hindi angle yun, temperature yun. O iba lalagay letter F. That will be marked wrong. Di ba ang kinukuha natin, angle. So, do not put more any letter, okay, after the degree. So, positive 52 degrees. Tapos na. Okay? Angle lang kinukuha, hindi naman temperature. Iba hindi mapigil, lalagyan pa ng letter. Okay? So, pag nilagyan mo ng letter yan, that will be marked wrong. So, ito yung, okay, usually ginagamit, yung bipolar vectocardiographic system. Yung mga nagsushortcut, merong shortcut procedure eh. They use leads 1 and IBF. Kunin mo yung value, lead 1 and IBF. Tapos i-plot mo na, di ba, ang direction ng lead 1, horizontal. Ang ABF, vertical. Okay. Combine mo sila. So, di ba yan ang lead 1, ito ang lead ABF. Then plot the value ng lead 1. Okay. Siyempre sa lead 1, positive siya. Ayan. So, millimeters, ayun, positive 5. Draw ka ng perpendicular line. Passing, okay? Or originating from the value ng lead 1. Tapos, plot mo yung value ng ABF. Siyempre sa ABF. Ayan. Then, draw a line originating from the value obtained, okay? Sa okay, lead ABF. Perpendicular to ABF. Perpendicular din. Ayun, okay? Tapos, from the intersection ng leads 1 and ABF, that will be your zero angle. Kaya sabi, shortcut ito eh. Wala ka ng triangle. Diretso na yan. From there, you draw an arrow going to the common intersection of perpendicular lines. That will be your vector. Almost similar naman yung kay result. Pero cardiologists, they do not want this method of doing vectorial analysis. We call this method quadrant method. Okay? Ang tawag dyan, quadrant method. Shortcut ito, ayaw ng mga cardiologists. They do not want us to use this procedure. But we can use this procedure. Especially if you have so many patients. Lalo sa mga annual check-up, ang dami nun. Okay? Halos buong lahat ng mga executives. So, kukunin mo yung mga vector. Ang dami. Gamitin mo na yung leads 1 and IBF. Pero for diagnostic purposes, use the bipolar vectocardiographic system. Kailangan yung utilizing the bipolar extremity leads. Okay? Tapos sa normal, ito magkaiba. Ito yung normal pag Asians. Yan ang normal range. From 0 degree angle to positive 90 degrees. Okay? Pag you are not within the normal range. Sabi merong left axis deviation, right axis deviation, and extreme axis deviation. Okay? Sa mga Asians, kasama dyan ng Pilipino. Pero worldwide, especially pag na-involve ang mga persons with bigger body size. Medyo wider ang normal. Yung normal range, wider. Negative 30 degrees to positive 110. So what will explain the difference? Kasi sa mga Asians daw, we have a smaller body and a smaller thoracic cavity. Therefore, the heart can move only in a limited space. So, ayan lang yung range ng kanyang movement. Okay? Kaya yung flow ng current, so, di ba, average cardiac vector to eh. So, it will only be within 0 degree to positive 90 degrees. Limited yung movement ng heart sa limited space sa thorax. Yung mga Caucasians, Europeans, Americans, okay? They have a bigger body, wider thoracic cage. So, the heart can move or position in a bigger space. Kaya wider yung kanilang normal vector. Okay? From negative 30 to positive 110. Okay? And ang acceptable normal. Okay? Worldwide, negative 30 to positive 110. Okay? Kaya wider sila. Okay? So yan ang widest acceptable normal. Negative 30 to positive 110. Okay? Pero whether you are a Caucasian or Asian, ang common, hindi na naman average yan, ang common cardiac vector is positive 59 degrees. Yan ang common. Okay? So, hindi siya average. Okay? Ano na yan? Nag-study na yan. Almost, or majority ng persons worldwide, ang cardiac vector is positive 59 degrees. Hindi pa nag-16. Okay? Pinulang pa ng 1 degree. So, yan ang So, pag kinuha mo yung widest acceptable normal range, ito yung left axis deviation. Anything, lower than negative 30. Pag or higher pala. Ano ba? Basta ba? Pag negative 40, negative 50, negative 60, left axis deviation na yun. Dito naman ang right axis deviation. So, more than positive 110. Dito, bira na yan, extreme deviation. So, ito yung normal. By the way, pag dito, sabi, nandun ka within the negative 30 to positive 110. Yan, okay? Do not say normal deviation. Okay? Basta normal axis na lang. Okay? Tapos pag nagdetermine ng vector, it will not only tell us the direction, it will also tell us the magnitude or extent or strength of the electrical activity. Di ba kanina, direction tayo eh. Kaya ang unit lang, millimeters. So that we can get the angle. Now, if we want to know the magnitude, so the unit now will be millivolts. And how can we obtain the magnitude of the said electrical activity? Tapos dito, ang determine natin, ventricular activity, especially ventricular depot. Because we are utilizing the QRS. Kaya ventricular depolarizing activities yun. Yung direction niya. And the magnitude. If we will now try to determine the magnitude of electrical activity, take note of the arrow. Yung arrow drawn, okay? Tapos remember the calibration. Okay? Diba 10 mm, 1 millivolt. Therefore, 1 mm is 0.1 of a millivolt. Huwag niyo kalimutan yun, Kaya balikan natin yung na-obtain na value. Diba yan ang direction ng vector. Yun ang angle. 52 degrees, positive. Ayan na yung direction ng current flow, average. We want to know the magnitude. Measure the length of the arrow. Gamit ka lang ng ruler. Measure the length in millimeters. Multiply it by 0.1. Di ba 1 mm is 0.1 millivolt? Kasi ang calibration, 10 mm, 1 millivolt. Okay, madali lang. Whatever is the value in millimeters times 0.1. That will be the strength of the electrical activity. Kaya when we do vectorial analysis, we get the direction, average direction ng current flow in the subject or patient's heart and the strength of the said electrical activity. Pag QRS yan, the ventricular depolarizing activities. Gusto mong kunin yung atrial depot. So, use the P wave. You follow? Okay. Hello, is that clear? Ay, walang sumasagot.
Yes po.
Yes
Okay,
po.
Then yung repolarizing activity. Okay? Use the T wave. Pero usually ang dinedetermine ventricular depolarizing activity. So, kaya itong vectoral analysis usually determines the direction of the ventricular depolarization and the strength of ventricular depolarization. And usually that is the left ventricle, left ventricular activity. Kasi yun ang major cardiac pump. Di ba sa systemic circulation? Okay? Now, what are the cardiac problems diagnosed using the ECG? So usually ito yung mga problems associated with alteration in the generation, transmission of electrical activities. Okay, may mga arrhythmia, bradycardia, tachycardia, abnormal ang pacemaker. Okay? No. Diba ang normal pacemaker, SA node. Pag may blocks, di ba, may problem ka sa ventricle, o nagkaroon ng premature ventricular contractions. Okay, makikita yun. Kasi nagkakaroon ng arrhythmia. Also, in cases of ischemia, that will also alter generation of electrical activities. More so if there is actual injury. We call that infarction. Also, if there is cardiac enlargement or cardiomegaly. But the ECG can also diagnose changes in level of certain ions in the plasma, especially ions that can affect generation of electrical activities in the heart. And these are potassium and calcium ions. Nagmamanifest na sa ECG pag may changes in the level of the said ions. Okay? Ayan. So, ito yung mga presentation. So, ito yung normal tracing. Normal yan. Nurses, ano tawag sa ganyan? Usually, how do they describe the normal regular rhythm? Specific ako. Sabi ko, nurses. Kayo malimit mag-ano yan. Anong normal description ng normal regular rhythm or usual description? Ay, talaga, walang susumagot. Di ba, normal sinus rhythm? Yan ang laging ginagamit sa hospital. That means the activity is originating from the SA node. Sino-atrial node. Kaya tawag normal sinus rhythm. Pag nagkaroon ng problem, bumilis. Okay? So, we call that tachycardia, more than the normal rate. Makikita rin sa ECG yan. And if there is a decrease, kita yan sa ECG. Tapos ang ginagamit pa natin, lead 2. Okay? We want to know if there is regular rhythm, normal rate. Okay? Pag may arrhythmia, bradycardia yan, less than 60. More than 100, tachy. Pag may arrhythmia, makikita rin. It is also observed. If there is arrhythmia, tingnan ko nga. Okay? What is the method used to determine the heart rate? Buti mo, kinalimutan na. Hello? What do you call the method? Pag irregular ang rhythm. Di ba we cannot use the equation 60 over R, 300 over the number of big squares, 1,500 over the number of small squares. For regular rhythm lang yun. Ito, pag irregular.
QRS counting method.
Okay, QRS counting method. To get the heart rate. Ito yung QRS counting method. We use the hash marks. Mga arrhythmias yan. Okay? Ito, kinonsider na arrhythmia. Okay? Kasi more than the normal heart rate. Ito naman, less than the normal heart rate. Okay, sabi, hindi raw normal ang rhythm. Kasi very fast. Okay? Ito naman, very slow. Okay? Ito yung talagang may arrhythmia. Okay? Irregular yung interval ng mga RRs. Pero consider ng arrhythmia yung tachy and brady. Okay? Another problem na madadiagnose ng ECG, yung mga ischemia. Ito, dito titignan nyo yung J-point. Di ba ang normal? Sinabi ko naman yan. Ang J-point, which represents the end of depolarization sa ventricle and start of repolarization also in the ventricle. Dapat yan, isoelectric line. Di ba? If you observe a tracing or a result wherein the J-point is below the isoelectric line. Ayan, okay? Ayun ang J-point, bumaba. That indicates a problem. And that is usually indicative of ischemia. Decrease delivery ng oxygen sa cardiac tissues. especially sa ventricle. Okay? Ang tawag dyan, ST depression. That indicates myocardial ischemia. Wala pang injury, ischemic pa lang yung cardiac tissue. Okay? But the patient will already complain of chest pain. May complaint na yan. Pero hindi pa severe. Ischemia pa lang, wala pang injury. Okay? And ST depression can appear, okay, in different forms. Pwedeng upsloping, pwedeng horizontal, pwedeng downsloping. Okay? Tingnan mo ito. Sorry. Yan, upsloping. Yan, di ba? Okay, depressed na yan. Wala na siya sa isoelectric line. Ayun, tapos umangat. Kaya upsloping. Ito, tingnan mo. Horizontal yan, pero below the isoelectric line. Ito naman, below the isoelectric line, bumaba. O kaya sabi downsloping. Pero lahat sila, ST depression. And it indicates ischemia. Okay? If the ischemic process, becomes severe, that can lead to actual myocardial injury. Yun ay infarction. Pag meron ng injury, yung cardiac tissue. Tapos dito naman, tinan mo rin ang J-point. If there is now injury or damage to the cardiac muscle, especially sa ventricle, yung ST segment naman ngayon, nag-elevate, tumataas. So, tawag nila ST elevation. Okay? So, severe ischemia na yan. Meron ng injury yung myocardium. Pag ischemia, sabi, depress ang ST segment. Tawag ST depression. Pag may injury na, nag-elevate naman. Okay? So, titingnan mo rin yung J-point. Dapat isoelectric line. Yan tumataas. So, yung ST segment. Okay? And if the problem or the result also presents, okay? Ito, start na yan, hyperacute phase yan ng injury. If the problem or the result also presents, okay? Inversion ng T-wave plus the ST elevation. Okay? Mas delikado na yan. Okay? That's a fully evolved, myocardial injury or myocardial infarction. If you see these results in a patient, kung ikaw yung emergency physician, ikaw yung bantay sa emergency room, call immediately for help. I-refer mo agad to a senior resident or a consultant. Or pinakamaganda, cardiologist na agad. Cardiologist na. And do not allow the patient to move. Dapat complete bed rest yan. Okay? If the patient was properly managed or you were able to manage properly the patient, mag-i-improve siya. Pag nag-i-improve yung ngayang infarction or injury, later on you will see mag-almost normal yung ST segment. Tapos, nandun pa yung T-wave inversion. Pero nag-ano na siya. Nag-i-improve na. Yan ang resolution phase. Huwag ka na matakot yan. Nag-i-improve na siya. For the better, hindi for the worse. Tapos, pag nakita mo, persistent na yung Q-wave. Lagi nang may Q-wave. Sabi, prominent Q-wave. Normal na yung ST segment, normal na yung T-wave. Pero prominent ang Q. Pag sinabing prominent Q, the depth of the wave, yung depth ng Q wave, almost half of the R wave. Halos kalahati ng R wave. That indicates healed infarct. Gumaling na siya. Stable na yun. Huwag ka na matakot doon. Okay? And that Q wave will always appear in the person that was able to survive myocardial infarction. Prominent na yan, persistent Q wave. Almost half of the R wave. Hindi ka na matatakot dyan. Matatakot ka di sa dalawa. Call for help. Or immediately refer the patients to a senior resident or a consultant or a cardiologist. Kung merong available sa area. Yung hospital naman yan, may available yan. Re-refer mo agad pag nakita mo ganyan. ST elevation, more so if there is T-wave inversion. And do not let the patient move. Pabantayan mo na sa nurse. Okay? The patient must stay on bed. Okay? Yan ang mga delikado. Other problems diagnosed ng ECG, yung mga heart blocks. So, mga AB block, yung first degree, second degree, third degree, AB block. Okay? Pwede rin bundle branch block. Oh. Pag mga AB blocks, makikita mo ang problem mostly sa PR interval. So, a greater AB nodal delay. So, more than 0.21 of a second. Okay? Pag mga AB blocks, titignan mo yung PR interval. Okay? Pag bundle branch block, you will look at the QRS. It will be longer than 0.1 of a second. Diba ang normal range, 0.08 to 0.1. Pag PR interval naman, 0.12 to 0.21. Okay, pag more than 0.21, that is indicative of an AV block. Pag more than 0.1, yung QRS, bundle branch block yun. Okay, mas tumatagal. Okay, so ito yung resulta. Okay, of a patient suffering from first degree AV block. So ano na-notice mo dyan? Yung PR interval niya, okay, more than 0.1 of a second. Ay, sorry, 0.21 of a second. 0.1. 0.21 of a second. Okay? Di ba sabi, one big square, 0.2 of a second. Eh, meron pa sa mga small square. Ayan, yan na start eh. Okay? Di ba start ng P hanggang start ng QRS. So, meron pa mga small squares na part ng PR interval. So, that will be more than 0.21 of a second. So, first degree AV block yan. If you only see, okay, prolongation of the PR interval. Wala pang missed, okay, contractions or missed QRS o mga drop beats. First degree AV block pa lang yan. Now, if you have this tracing, yan, yung tracing na to ha. Merong progressive prolongation ng PR interval. Ayan o, mahaba. Tapos later on, you see a missed QRS or a drop QRS. O, meron mga missed beats or missed contractions. Okay? Nawala. Ayan o. Okay? That is a second degree AV block. Okay? Nagbabari yung PR interval eh. Okay? Tapos nag-drop ng QRS. Ito yung sinasabing K-Mobitz type 1. Or the Wenckebach phenomenon. Second degree AV block yan. Okay? Meron din naman second degree AV block. Ito ang appearance. Second degree din to. Okay? Constant na prolong ang PR interval. Pero there is a drop QRS. So hindi sa first degree kasi nag-drop ng QRS eh. Pag constant PR interval lang, walang drop QRS, first degree yun. Ito nag-drop ng QRS. Meron kang miss QRS, di ba? Merong miss beats. Second degree din yan. Okay, ito naman yung Mobitz type 2. Nakita niyo yung difference? Pag Mobitz type 1 saka Mobitz type 2. Ay, sumagot. Ano ang major difference? Hello? Ayun, wala na ba kayo? Hello? Hello? Ayun yung agad sumagot. Akala ko wala na kayo. So, di ba pag Mobitz type 1, merong prolongation. Ayan, Pag type 1, nagpo-prolong ang PR interval. Type 1 yan, Mobitz type 1. Pag Mobitz type 2, constant yung prolonged PR interval. Pero pareho silang merong drop QRS. So, ang kaibahan nila sa prolongation ng PR interval, sa Mobitz type 2, constant. Sa type 1, progressive yung lengthening ng PR interval. Meron pa isang second degree AV block. Dito naman, frequent yung dropping ng QRS. Tapos nagkakaroon ng abnormal ratio. Di ba ang normal ratio between P-wave and QRS, 1:1. Dito, meron mga 2:1 ratio, 3:1 ratio. Second degree AV block din yan. Pero wala nang pangalan. Basta second degree AV block. Pero hindi na siya yung mga Mobitz. Okay? Tapos yung third degree AV block, ito yung complete heart block. Pag third degree. Yung atrium is now having its own pacemaker. Di ba? SA node. Yung ventricle, may sarili niya din. And usually it's the Purkinje fibers. Tapos mas mabagal siya. Yung rate ng QRS, kaya prolong ang RR interval. slower than normal. Okay, compared sa P wave. Okay? Kaya mas marami yung P kaysa sa R. Okay, and walang mga ano yan. Okay, walang mga drop QRS yan. So slower yung ventricular rate. Okay, faster yung atrial rate. Wala nang coordination between the atrial and ventricular activities. Di ba dapat ang ventricle will wait for impulses coming from the atrium? Not anymore. May sarili na siyang pacemaker. Pero ang rate is lower than the rate ng SA node controlling the atrium. Ayan ang complete AV block. Okay? Kasi ito naman, pag tinignan mo yung QRS, yan ang normal, di ba? 0.08 to 0.1. Normal yon. Paano pag more than 0.1 of a second? Okay? More than yan. 0.16 So, bundle branch block yan. Yan ang bundle branch block. Tapos malalaman mo kung left bundle branch block. Pag left bundle branch block, may problem ka, mostly seen where? So, lead 3. Meron ding konti sa lead 1, pero mostly lead 3. Di ba left side? Pag right side, mostly lead 2. Yung prolongation ng QRS. Tapos sa chest leads, pag right side, yung B1, B2. Pag left side, B3, B4. Kasama din ang B5, B6. Prolongation ng QRS. Bundle branch block yan. So, kaya nalalaman kung left bundle branch block, right bundle branch block. Okay? Tapos yung cardiac enlargement o yung cardiomegaly, pwede rin malaman. We can also determine if there is cardiac enlargement. Titingnan mo yung height ng waves. Pag more than the normal, yung height ng R, o cardiac enlargement yan. And also, deeper yung S waves than normal. And there will also be prolongation ng QRS. Pero ito, it does not indicate there is a bundle branch block or bundle branch problem. Ito, this is explained by the increasing size of the heart. So, nag-increase ang length ng cardiac muscles, especially in ventricle. So, it will take a longer time to depolarize the ventricular muscle, which are longer than normal. So, kaya nagpo-prolong din ng QRS interval. Pero walang problem sa bundle branches. Okay? So, nag-increase kasi yung length ng ventricular muscle because of the enlargement. So, it will take a longer time to depolarize the ventricular muscle. Okay? So, ang appearance nila, ayan, normal lang normal. Tall ang R wave, deep ang S waves. Okay? So, taller than normal yung R wave, deeper than normal yung S waves. Okay, ito. Kasi may prolonged QRS, di ba? So, para malaman mo kung right ventricular hypertrophy, yun ang appearance. So, look at the chest leads. Taller ang R wave sa B1, deeper ang S wave sa B6 pag right ventricular hypertrophy. Pag left ventricular hypertrophy, it's the opposite. Deeper ang S wave sa B1, taller ang R wave sa B6. Yan ang left ventricular hypertrophy. Okay? Remember the relationship ng mga chest electrodes. Okay? Or chest leads to the heart. Okay? Ayan. That's, di ba, ang problems na madadiagnose din na non-cardiac. Yung mga changes sa plasma, level ng ions in the plasma. Especially potassium and calcium. And yan ang mga changes na makikita. Okay? So, pag hyperkalemia, nag-i-increase yung height ng T waves. Pag hypokalemia, always present naman yung U wave. And it is said to be prominent. Pag sinabing prominent, ang U wave mo, the height is taller than the T wave. Di ba? Normally yan, uncommon siya, di ba? Kasi yung size niya, smaller. Much smaller than the T. Pag sinabing prominent U, indicative of hypokalemia, taller than the T wave, yung U wave recorded. So, hypo kayo yun. Pag hypercalcemia naman, nag-i-increase ang heart rate, kaya shortened yung ST, pati ang QT intervals. Di ba ang ST, ST interval, length ng repolarization or duration ng repo. Ang QT, duration ng ventricular action potential. Bumibilis sila. Kaya, rapid yung heart rate. Nagka-tachycardia. Pag hypocalcemia naman, prolong yung mga intervals. So, slower yung cardiac activity o bradycardic yan. Okay, ito picture yan. So, ito yung hypokalemia. Ayan o. Prominent ang U. Dapat alam nyo normal value. Ano normal value ulit ng potassium sa plasma? Hello? Ay, walang sumasagot. Andiyan pa ba kayo? Hello? Sabihin nyo lang kung andiyan. Anong sumagot ng mga to? Anybody? Hello? Hindi ko malaman kung andyan pa sila.
Hello po.
Dito po.
Kaya nga, ayun yung agad mga laki. So, anong value ng plasma? Potassium. Di ba 3.5 to 5.5? Pero iba, depende. Basta ando lang halos ang range niyan, 3.5 to 5.5. So, pag less than 3.5, hypokalemic yun. Meron kang prominent U. Hindi, yung pasyente meron prominent U wave. Ayan, ito. Talagang sa pasyente na yan. So, yung U wave, taller than the T. Okay? Hypokalemia yan. Dapat ang U wave, di ba, smaller than the T wave. Okay? Tapos, pag hyperkalemia naman, ito hyperkalemia. Okay? Yung T wave naman ang tumataas. Wala kang U o T wave. O yan, tinan mo, 7 MEQ per liter. Di ba hanggang 5.5 lang. Ito talaga sa pasyente yan. Okay? So, very tall yung T wave. Isang tawag, peak T wave o hyperkalemia. Now, take note of these changes. Kasi parehong fatal yan. Both conditions can lead to cardiac arrest. Yung hypokalemia saka hyperkalemia. Okay? Kaya pag nakita mo yan, magtawag ka na rin agad ng cardiologist o i-repair mo agad. Okay? Yung pasyente. Kung ikaw yung emergency physician, huwag mo i-manage yan. Okay? Maghanap ka ng consultant. Okay? Ito naman sa calcium. Yan ang normal level ng calcium sa plasma. Pag nag-hypercalcemia, okay? Pag hypercalcemia, ano sabi ko? Shorten yung QT interval, yung ST interval, yung RR interval. Okay? Shorten lahat yon. Kaya sabi, yung pasyente mo, tachycardic. Okay? Kasi maraming available ng calcium that will help the cardiac tissue undergo electrical changes, especially sa depolarization. Pero di ba minsan nakikialam ang calcium sa repo? Yung phase 2. Kaya nagtatakicardia siya pag maraming calcium available. Paano naman pag nag-hypocalcemia? Sabi, slower ang heart rate. Kasi longer than normal yung mga intervals, the QT interval, the ST interval, the RR interval. Okay? Kaya tinan mo, yung RR niya, di ba RR, distance between two R waves, longer yan compared to the normal. Okay? Ito naman, mas malapit. Kaya ng mga changes. Okay? Kasi lesser ang calcium available sa mga depolarizing activities ng heart o repolarizing activities. Kaya longer yung duration ng ventricular muscle action potential. Okay? So, yung ECG can also diagnose non-cardiac problems. Pero the said non-cardiac problems can affect cardiac electrical activity. Kasi non-cardiac ito, calcium, mga ions to But they can affect generation of electrical activities in the heart. So it is diagnosed by the ECG. Okay? Kaya sabi, are all disorders of the heart diagnosed using the ECG? Na-diagnose ba lahat? Hello?
No po.
No.
Okay. Very good. Okay? Why? Kasi ang ECG, as mentioned, can only diagnose cardiac disorders wherein you disturb the electrical activity. Na-disturb yung impulse generation and conduction ng mga action potentials. Pag walang disturbance sa generation, conduction ng impulses or action potential, it is not diagnosed by the ECG. What can diagnose those problems? What procedure can diagnose those problems?
Echo.
Wow, ang galing. The 2D echocardiography. O, minsan ang tawag na lang 2D echo. Okay? So, yan ang ginagamit. Wala nang electrodes dyan. Okay? Gagamit ka ng Doppler instrument. Okay? Anong simple term for 2D echo? Ha? Kasi, ano ko yung 2D echo? Anong gagawin niyo sa akin? Okay? Paano mo sasabihin sa pasyente?
Ultrasound.
Very good. Ultrasound of the heart. Hindi ko kayo masasaktan diyan, yung 2D echo. Okay? So, ang iti-test kayo, kaya dapat 2D ikaw, hindi echo. Okay? Hindi. Ultrasound of the heart yan. Okay? Ano yung mga disorders ng heart? Diagnosed by the 2D echo, not diagnosed by the ECG initially. Ano mga problems yan? It is not initially diagnosed by the ECG. Kasi initially, walang disturbance sa impulse generation, okay? Impulse conduction. So yung mga valvular problems, di ba? Diniscuss, meron na kayong case conference yan o yung mga mitral stenosis o small group discussion. So, walang masyadong makikitang problem dyan at the start. Pero later on, di ba, magkakaroon ng mga cardiac problems. May atrial hypertrophy o magkakaroon ng failure. Okay? So, eventually, it is seen by the ECG. Pero initially, it is not diagnosed by the ECG. Kasi pag 2D echo, di ba, ultrasounds, okay? It can detect the flow of blood inside the heart. O, di ba, pag may valvular problem, nadi-disturb yung normal blood flow. O, makikita yon. It is observed or recorded by the echocardiogram. Okay? Makikita yon. Kaya mga septal defects, initially, it's not diagnosed by the ECG. Pag nag-create ng additional problems. Okay? Pero initially, diagnose agad yan ng echo. Kasi meron kang abnormal flow ng blood pag merong septal problems. Di ba? Yung mga ventricular septal defect, atrial septal defects. Okay? Yung mga cardiac chamber disorders. Pag wala pang problem sa impulse generation, impulse conduction. Okay? Pag abnormal yung distension ng heart. Okay? Mahina yung contraction. Okay? Makikita yun sa ventricle, ay sa echocardiography. Okay? Kaya pag weak heart, yung cardiomyopathies, makikita yon. Kasi makikita mo, mahina contraction, mahina yung normal flow. Okay? So, yung may mga abnormal growth sa cardiac muscles. Okay? Na hindi nagko-conduct na impulses. Okay? Makikita yon ng echocardiography. Kahit yung mga blood clots inside the heart, diagnose sila ng echocardiography. So initially, it's not diagnosed by the ECG. Yung mga problem ng pericardium, yung sinasabing constrictive pericarditis, makikita yun sa echocardiogram or echocardiography. Kasi they will see the heart not capable of normally distending. Limited siya nung pericardial problem. Kaya tawag, di ba, constrictive pericarditis. Di ba yung heart covered by the pericardium? May problem sa pericardium. So, we cannot observe the normal cardiac activity. Nalilimit siya ng pericardial problem. Makikita yan sa echocardiography. Pag ginawa mo na yung ultrasound ng heart. It is not initially diagnosed using the ECG. Okay? Up to this point, other questions? Hello? Wala. Okay? So, thank you for listening. Okay? Huwag mo na kayo umalas, ha? Titingnan ko